Hello and welcome back to the Aaron Davies YouTube channel and to the Wigan Athletic career mode. Here we are starting off with Season 6 of this amazing career mode. What a journey it's been so far, and finishing off Season 5, winning our very first proper major trophy with Wigan was absolutely amazing. It was a very nice feeling. It was a very humbling, calming feeling knowing that we got that over the line. Even though it took us 5 seasons, we got there. Obviously, if we go back to what we had last season in the league, it didn't go to plan. It wasn't ideal. We didn't have a great start. We didn't have a great ending, but there was no good middle. I just think we sort of floated through the league in a way. There was nothing there. We had players like Njaya really trying their best, scoring absolutely insane amount of goals and getting loads of assists. And you had singular performances, single players sort of really shone in that team. And Njaya, for instance, Divine, for instance, there wasn't really a team connection, I feel. And I don't know if you guys got that same kind of feeling watching the episodes in Season 5, but it just didn't feel like there was a team connection. There was no team football being played. The chemistry wasn't great. And obviously, going into this new season, just after winning the FA Cup, we're going to be playing in qualifiers for the Europa League. We need to try and sort some stuff out, and we need to try and pull this team together. So let's see what kind of work we can get on with. Also have taken in pretty much every single bit of feedback in this series so far, and I'm going to with this. Hugh, I appreciate the comments as always, but you did say you want sort of a more in-depth start to the season. Season 5 especially was very rushed at the start, and I think I got very close to halfway through the season in just one episode. Didn't really explain any of the signings fully, and didn't really explain much that was going on. We just kind of went through the season as it is. So we're going to take things a bit slower. We're going to go through all of what decisions, whether the rash decisions, sorry, like rash decisions, like very quickly, or if it's going to take a bit of time to think about decisions, we will go through absolutely everything that we can. Bold objectives, the money we've got, the players that are going to be leaving, such as Robinson, who is currently only here on loan. That'll be running out literally in a few days if I start simulating. So we've got to think, do we bring him in on a permanent? Do we not? Do we, like what we're going to be doing with the team, basically. Obviously, one of the key things I think is going to be a goalkeeper that you want to focus on. Palmer, he was alright last season. He was third in clean sheets in the league, don't get us wrong, but I think a lot of that's probably down to the defensive line that he's got in front of him. I think Edwards and Costas are a brilliant partnership. The only one I could say upgrading here is Edwards. I think Edwards becoming a backup and having a potentially like 80 plus overall centre back in there would make quite a big difference. Costas is still going to be growing in ratings a lot. He already has done since joining, and I feel like he's a lot more versatile than Edwards. Patterson for me, I know he's the skipper. Well, technically it's Divine who's the skipper. I did lift the trophy, which is probably the very first change I've actually got to do here. Patterson, I just don't know about him. I just don't think there's anything there. I feel like we can get a better right back in than Patterson. He's 27 already. That's not too much to worry about in a way, but I just feel like we can do better there. Robinson would be amazing to bring in permanently. Could you stay in Dyer? I think as our midfielders are fine for this season. I think Could you stay played amazingly last season. We can get another season or so out of him. Dyer, obviously still such a young player. We'll see what we can do with Dyer. If the right deal comes in, I'm willing to pretty much sell anybody, in fact. Maybe apart from Njaya, he's my main goal scorer. Kumas was awful, absolutely awful, and that's the way I'm going to say it. He was awful around the start of the season last year, but towards the end of it, he come in clutch and helped us massively, especially in the FA Cup. So Kumas, you can definitely see the potential in him. He's going to be staying. Divine, obviously staying. Harvey Barnes is an interesting one. I do feel like he's a player we could get someone in to give him a bit of competition. I don't think Thomas is good enough, unfortunately. He's been out from the very start of this career mode. I just don't think he's good enough to be able to give him competition. Rosgar's obviously leaving. The only player I feel like could give competition is Woodhouse. Rating-wise, absolutely not, obviously. But of actual playing and consistency, Woodhouse is the only player who, on the current team, could give Barnes a bit of competition. And then obviously it leaves us with Njaya, who I think is pretty much irreplaceable. I don't really think you can replace him. I mean, you can, but you're going to have to spend tens of millions to do that. Then, so as for transfer list and loan players, we're going to be going through them first. Ryan Mannon's obviously joining Rangers. That happened towards the end of last season. Sessegnon has submitted a transfer request. He does no longer want to be on. You know what it is? Sessegnon has been here so long. He's one of the longest reigning players in this team currently, so I can kind of understand it. Seko, for me, I think it's just time for him to go. He's been here a good few years now. Kraken player, very good player. Let's see what kind of money we can get. Ricky J. Jones, for me, obviously never hit the ground running, had an ACL injury in his first season, which was just heartbreaking, really. Well, Nathan Patterson, like I talked about before, there's something about Patterson, I just don't think he's good enough. Theo Ascott has also been added to the list because he has left Wigan in real life, so I mean it's realistic to do. Rosgaz's already joined Valencia. Obviously that was done last season. I think there's 16 million in there. Jaden Dunn is also going to be leaving us. He's one of the youngsters I don't really see the potential in. And then for loans, we've got Max Collins there, the American international DM. He is the only one on the loan list, so there's not actually much leaving. If we can get all of these transfers done, then that's sound, and we can kind of eventually say how much money we're going to be able to use for the rest of this season. So currently starting out, we're on 55 million. I think that's without the money from Rosga and Manning. So when that money comes in, it'll be, I think, much closer to 70 million. And then as for board objectives, they're a bit all over the place, these ones. Sign a crucial first team player to midfield. It's doable. Whether I want to change the midfield around, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. The long-term ones, you've got within 2 seasons have at least one player from the youth academy assigned to the first in the first season, play at least 30% of the games in the next season. Just a really confusing expectation there. Within 3 seasons, increase your club worth by 30% through player sales and competition prize money. It should be doable within 3 seasons. Finish mid-table in the Premier League is very reasonable, to be fair. And then round of 16, the FA Cup. Considering I've just won the FA Cup, I feel like they've been very fair with them ones there. And then within 2 seasons, finish in Europa League spot. They are the most realistic domestic success expectations I've pretty much ever seen in a career mode. So thank you very much to the Wigan board. Reach the Europa League group stage. I think that's just more down to, we've got to play the qualifying games. So, I mean, depending on who we get, you usually get some like Irish clubs and that. You never usually get too many hard teams to qualify, so that should be doable. Within 2 seasons, have at least one player from the... Okay, so that's one I've already went through. Get a streak of 3 clean sheets in away matches. That could be difficult, depending on the goalkeeper we bring in. Sign 1 crucial first-team player signed to midfield opposition, which we've went through, and then that one we've also went through. So there's not too much to expect from the board this season, as long as we just keep our heads above water, really. Do what we've got to do, then I think we should be sound. As for players I'm interested in, let's go through the list here. We've got Vidovic as a left winger. He is someone I think I could bring in for a bit of competition surrounding Harvey Barnes, and he is only 25 years old. We've got Ludwig Lindqvist, I think is how you say that, youngster from Dortmund. This guy just went to Dortmund last season. I was actually going to go in for him last season, but with him just joining the team, I couldn't. Matteo Joseph, we had him on loan at one point, a few seasons back, if you remember, and Leeds recalled him because he wasn't getting enough game time, but I definitely think I could bring Joseph in. He's 4 years younger than Ndiaye. He would probably be the backup for now, which would kick Joseph out of the team, but I think Matteo Joseph would be very solid to bring in. We've got Noah Allen, another American international, a left back. If I don't get Robinson permanently, I think Noah Allen's basically the next Robinson anyway. He looks very good statistically. I mean, 88 sprint speed alone is absolutely amazing. We've got Jorginho Malanga here, a German winger from Stuttgart. He's actually quite cheap for the player that you're getting here. He's only 22, 74 overall, and he's only 5 million. I think that's very cheap for the player you could be getting there. We've got Nathan Lowe from Nottingham Forest. Guy just looks good. He looks like an up-and-coming English striker, and that's kind of what you want in this team. Potentially give a bit of competition up top, You got Shakai Ford, I think that's how you say this one. 25-year-old winger from England, 75 overall. Just looks all-round good, I would say. Could definitely give Kurmas a bit of competition. He's also playing in a league that I don't even know about. I don't even know what that league is, and I feel like he deserves better. Then the last one, you got Paco Cortez, a Spanish left winger. Look at the pace, look at the agility, look at the shooting, the dribbling, the passing. The guy seems like he's got it all, and he's only 21 years old. And he's pretty cheap for the package that you're getting there. Yet again, a player who could give a bit of competition to Harvey Barnes for his starting spot this season. Alright then, one of the first things I've went through was just some contracts that were running out. So Harrison Armstrong has just signed a 5-year extension, which is now keeping me off for the next 6 years. It is well worth it. I think he earned this last season. Obviously, he had a horrible run of injuries in his time here, but he's been incredible. The growth's been amazing with him as well. He's now a 74 overall. He's the same age as Dyer as well. But yeah, 5-year extension there on him. Patterson, obviously, we're trying to sell, so it's pointless in doing him at the minute. Costas will most likely get an extension. Maybe he's in January. We'll see how he's performed, and then we could extend his contract there. Sibic is probably a player we're letting run out. Obviously, I'm not looking to get rid of him right now, but that contract's probably just going to wear down itself. Adaramola, I'm not too sure with him. I'm not too sure. He's probably going to be the main left back this season again if we don't get Anton Robinson in, but we'll find out if we do. And then Alex Palmer and Harry Tyra, I just gave a 2-year extension onto theirs. Obviously, Alex Palmer is probably going to be moved out of the number 1 this season for us and for the foreseeable future, but we'll still want to keep him here at the club. It's the same with Harry. Harry's been here a good few seasons now, has barely played a game, but he's just here if needs be. The goalkeeper depth isn't massive. When I get a number 1 goalkeeper in, all we have is these 3 here to be the backups. Obviously, Palmer being the main one. You've then got Christopher Cooper, who's out on loan, but I don't know if that rating's going to spike up too much. We'll find out how he does. But yeah, just a few contracts to go over there. This is absolutely massive, this one. We did say it's one of the main things we needed to upgrade. If I would say the only thing we needed to upgrade, it is the goalkeeping situation in this team. After Super Sam Tickle left us, we were left with nothing really. Not a lot of money, not a lot of options to go into net until we met this guy. Damien Ferry, the French goalkeeper from Wolverhampton Wanderers for 21.1 million. It is an expensive transfer, but it's the only price I could get. I tried putting it down. I tried doing 17 million. And it says best possible deal was 17. They weren't having it. But he joins us 45k a week on a 5-year contract. Isn't too bad. And statistically, he is absolutely clear, I would say, of Alex Palmer. And he's only 21 years old as well. So I think going straight into this team, 5-year contract, when they've been so young as well, as potential's insane. So let's see how he gets on. But that is the first inning of season 6. Absolutely massive, and I know there'll be a certain amount of people, a few lot of Wigan fans watching this, who will be over the moon. 6 years on, he's finally rejoined Wigan. Charlie Hughes, welcome back to Wigan Athletic. Welcome back to where you belong. We've done it. We've got the deal done. It took a lot of negotiation, and I know he's only cost us 4 million, but best believe I'd really try my best here to be able to try and bring that price down as much as I could. And I just, the least I could get was 4. It took a lot. We've accepted a 3-year contract with 33k a week. He's most likely just going to be a backup centre back for now, alongside Sibic, but we'll see. The rotation might bring him into the starting lineup. Also, on top of bringing Hughes and Ferry in, we've also brought 2 new players in on loan this season. Robin van Dijk from Brentford has joined us on a loan to buy. The option, I believe, is 17.4 million with a 10% sell-on clause in there. We're splitting his wage 50-50. We'll see how this guy gets on. He's going to be really competitive in the team. Most likely starting on the right-hand side instead of Kumas, but we'll see if we do end up getting rid of Barnes. If the right offer comes in from, then I'll probably put this guy out on the left-hand side. We will see. And then Nathan Lowe, who I did show you was in the shortlist to start with. I just wanted a bit of extra competition up top. I mean, Joseph is now 27. He'll be 28 this season. And he's still 74 overall. So I just wanted a bit of competition to come in to try and knock him out of his position, and potentially Nathan Lowe could overtake Jaya at some point, but he's joined us on a loan to buy option from Nottingham Forest. The buy option's 11.2 million, that 3% selling clause in there. The wages split 40-60. in our favour, which is quite nice to see. But yeah, a young English striker. He's already 77 overall. He's 6'4" as well, so he's going to be a massive target, especially driving the ball into the box. But 2 transfers are done, 2 loan deals are done. Let's keep it going. Do a big update. There is so much business happening. I don't even know how bloody the banks are coping. What's Barclays doing right now? I don't know how they're coping. No, seriously, this is probably the biggest window that we've ever had in this career mode, I'm not going to lie. Even when we first come up to the Premier League, in my second season, in my third season, we never even had a transfer window like this. There is so much stuff that needs to be cleared out, and there's so much that needs to come in. But let's just go over everything as a whole here. So Steven Sessegnon leaves us for 1.8 million to a team I've never heard of. Seko goes out to Preston for 3.3 million. What a servant he was, considering this guy was a free signing. Build him a statue. No, we'll not go that far. Asgard obviously leaving us. I mean, he was a player that I've held on to for 6 seasons somehow. We come very close to getting rid of him, obviously, when he went out on loan to Forest. That was very short-lived due to injuries on our behalf, really. But yeah, I'm surprised he lasted this long. And obviously, the only reason I've actually gotten rid of him, I'm not going to lie, is because he went in real life to Luton. So I kind of had to. But 5.7 million from Burrows, perfect. Ricky J. Jones for 1.7 million to yet again a team I've never heard of. Good luck in your future career, Ricky, mate. Nathan Patterson leaving us to Hoffenheim for 12.8 million. Could we say he was a good servant? I suppose he got us to the position where we're at now, and now we're just trying to stay financially stable as a club, which is very difficult to do in these times. But the money's definitely helping. He's come in, he's done what he could, and now I've sold him for, I'm pretty certain, more than what I've signed him for. So I feel like it's a good bit of business there. Obviously, then Damien Ferry joined us from Wolves for 21.1. Max Collins went on loan to Atlanta, sorry. There is a buy option in there. Nathan Lowe then joined us on loan. There is the buy option in there, of course, as well. Charlie Hughes joins us from Hull for 4 million. Robin van Dijk joins us on Brentford from loan. Obviously, the buy option there. Luca Hartley out on loan. We've got Isaac Taylor going out on loan. We've got Jake Greenwood going out on loan. And then this is a one that, like I said, if the right offer comes in, I will sell Harvey Barnes. Such a disappointing signing last season. I thought he was going to come in and not exactly rip the Premier League to shreds, but I just thought he would give us a bit of a boost, and didn't really get that from Harvey Barnes, unfortunately, and he spent a lot of the season out on the sidelines injured. So I just think it was the right decision, especially with his wage as well being 110k a week. I think we just need to offload him and get rid of him. So he's went to Chelsea for 18.5 million. So then, and this will most likely change by the start of the season. I've got a few players in mind who I want to go in for, but this is the starting lineup that we have for us. This guy as well, if you're wondering where he come from, Nasiala, we got him in the swap deal with Manning at Rangers, so that's the reason this guy's here. We technically didn't pay for him, he was just in the swap deal. So starting in that, you've got Damien Ferry, you've got Ademola back in at left back now with Robinson leaving, of course. Costas and Edwards stay as the 2 at centre-backs. You've then got Sibic in a right-back. Obviously, with Selham Patterson, we haven't really got a replacement yet. But like I said, this is most likely going to change. I can't see Sibic being the right-back permanently in this team. Definitely not. And the youth right-backs just aren't really good enough. We've got Clark here. Back can play right back, to be fair. You've got Diane, Scott, who just aren't sort of there yet. Your midfields, Cajuste, Armstrong and Devine. I think you can really just mix the midfield up. You could have Gelhart in there. You can have Dyer in there. Dyer realistically should be starting over Armstrong, but I'm just going to start Armstrong for now and see how he gets on. And then, now this is an interesting one, bit controversial, but I've put Dyer out on the left-hand side as Harvey Barnes' replacement, so I don't need to sign a left winger. We still might. Lowe goes up top, and then Van Dijk out on the right-hand side. So Comas comes down to the bench. But I think what this does is it gives Joseph still the stability of being a backup striker. If I was still starting Njaya there, Lowe would be the backup striker. It would make Joseph a third choice, and I would prefer not to have that. We still know how good Joseph is. He scored 15 goals in all comps last season. The guy is still good. The guy is still worthy having in this team. And I think this gives Lowe a good bit of a boost, you know. The only issue is Njaya done so well up top. I wonder if playing him out on the left is going to make him struggle a bit. We can sort this out, and like I said, this is most likely going to change. I'm looking at a left back. I'm looking at getting a right back in. Let's see if we can go ahead and do that. Moment, this is probably one of the biggest moments in this career mode so far. The 6 seasons that were done, or 5 in total, going into the 6th. Reece James has rejoined Wigan. I know, it is mental how I've been able to pull this off. But when I saw the team he was playing for, I was like, I'm pretty certain he's got to come back. He has to be playing in the Premier League, this guy. He has to be. We've brought Reece James back to Wigan from Lens for 33.1 million, which I'm pretty certain is the highest transfer that I've done in this career mode so far. We've got an excellent deal, which is incredible stuff. He's 84 overall. Let's say he's 86, yeah. If I put him centre-back, he goes to an 86. Don't know how that works. When he's a right-back, he's an 84. But welcome back, Reece James. I don't know how long ago it is since he played for Wigan, but it seems like such a long time. And when you include the 6 years into the future on this career mode, it will be so long since he last played for Wigan. He's 29 now, but we're signing him to a 4-year contract, which will keep him here until he is 33, and he's on 115k a week, which is a lot, but trying to get his wage down is like trying to argue with a fucking brick wall. You just can't really do it. But this guy should make such a big difference to the defence on that right-hand side of the pitch. Reece James is well and truly back in Wigan colours. What a moment. Is walking through the door. We have just signed a new winger. I did say, you know, that formation and the team that I showed you just prior to this clip is going to change. It's going to change, and it definitely will before the season starts. We've got pre-season tournament coming up, but the team's going to change even in between that, you know, the few games that you play in pre-season. But we've just signed Lorge Ramazani. I think that's how you'd say his first name, but Ramazani has joined us from Leeds United. It's a bit controversial doing a bit of business with Leeds. We've done it in the past, though. So, you know, I don't really see too much of a problem with it. But there we go. Ramazani joins us. This guy, I swear, if you go back through the seasons and you look, you know, when I see the end of season stats, like goals and assists, this guy's name's always around there, like 10 goals, 10 assists a season. This guy seems to be insane. He's 28 years old, so we've signed him up with a 3-year contract, 57k a week, which is exactly what he was on at Leeds, but we'll have to give him a bit of a bonus for signing. He's 78 overall. He's going to go on that left-hand side. Let's hope he does a bit better than what Barnes did, obviously. But we brought him in for 13.5 million. I tried to do a swap deal. They wanted Gelhardt, and I wasn't really too struck on giving Gelhardt away. So we took Gelhardt out of that swap deal, offered them just the money, and they ended up taking it. Ramazani, welcome to Wigan Athletic. I go in for a left back. I don't know if Adaramola is going to be good enough to be the left back this season, especially I feel like he's going to be letting that defensive side down with Edwards, Costas, and then you've got Reece James, who especially, I mean, he's 84 overall, you know. I've tried. Ballymumba, I tried to go in for, we agreed 13.5 million, and they rejected the contract. They rejected 28k a week. He was on 16k a week at Plymouth. So, I mean, the jump in wage is just crazy. I understand Plymouth, I believe, are in League One in this, but the jump in wage is still mental. I didn't really know what to put in for him. He rejected it. Anton Robinson was, I think, how did we get rejected with Anton Robinson? I believe it was the price that we're doing the loan to buy for. I went in for a loan to buy instead of just buying him, just like I did last season. You know, we're accepted everything apart from the transfer sum. 21.8 million for someone who's 31 years of age. I just don't think it's worth it, and I feel like there's going to be better left backs out there. I then looked at this guy, Jeff T. Looks very good. Statistically, looks absolutely incredible. But he's recently just joined Chelsea, and I can't do a loan deal, so I feel like he would have been perfect to bring in. We do have this guy, Belosian from Forest, who can play left back, but I just think looking at all these other left backs, they seem to be better on the ball. Whereas this guy, I mean, his preferred position is a centre-back, don't get us wrong, but I think the only thing that makes him more of like a full-back is just his speed. I want someone who's good on the ball, who can pass the ball well, just like the guys I'm looking at here. So I don't think he's going to fit the case. Bit of a shame. List of searching in the Prem, the Championship, some foreign leagues, and there's just not really anyone who stands out. I mean, you've got Nets here. You could probably try and save him from Southampton. I was looking at Luke Chambers again. He's at Leipzig now. I think it's risky going in for Luke Chambers. Reason being, we had him on loan, like, was it 2 or 3 separate times at this point? And he just wasn't that good. Unfortunately, he just wasn't that good. He's probably going to stay at Wigan in real life. But he wasn't that good on loan, and I don't want to risk paying the money for him just to be like what he was on loan. Don't get us wrong, his rating and everything else has grown, his stats and that have grown. He looks like he's gotten better, but is he going to fit in this team again? I'm not quite sure, so we might put that on hold for now. I've went in for Robinson again, but this time on a permanent transfer, not a loan. We offered 12 million with a 15% selling clause, and they accepted that, which is fine. It then come down to the wage again, and they rejected 40k a week. The guy is on 31k a week at Monza. I understand it's in the French league, okay? I understand that fully. But I offered 40k a week. That is a £8,500 pay rise weekly, that is. And they rejected it. I've went in for Robinson twice. Surely it's not the player who doesn't want to join. You know, this is practically where he started out playing football. And it can't be him refusing to come back. He come here on loan last season. I don't understand why it's been so hard to go in for him. I could potentially try and go in for Mumba again, but I think for the player that you're getting, he may be a bit too expensive. We may need a cheaper option for left back. Luke Chambers is a little bit more expensive, but he's also younger, and he's had experience playing in this team and the Premier League before. So maybe it might just be time to go in for Luke Chambers again. Any easier? It does not get any easier. I tried to go in for Luke Chambers, and yet again, the wage is such a big problem for whatever reason it may be. But he's rejected the wage yet again. We're paid 17.8, a bit more than his market value, but for his age, I suppose, and he's English, makes a bit of sense. But yeah, yet again, the wage stands in the way. First game of the proper season. We're done really bad in pre-season. Didn't win a game, which isn't ideal going into this game against City in the Community Shield. Another trophy we can try and win. Let's go ahead and do a bit of a press conference. Why not? We'll try and get everyone's morale a bit high up for this one. Bloody hell. Go on then. City's team looks stupid. No wonder they won the league. No bloody wonder. I mean, that midfield has to be the best midfield in world football right now. It has to be. I'd imagine that Andrade and Ramos are quite high rating. Their midfield's that good, Frankie de Jong gets benched. Suslov potentially playing against his former team, yeah. We sold him to City for like 40 odd million in last season's window. They got Martinez as a backup keeper to Edison. You've got De Suiper in there, who I think's like an 82 overall. You've got 8 Nuri. I mean, that has to be one of the best depths I've ever seen in football history. This is going to be a challenging game. Alrighty, the team going out for this one at Wembley. We'll meet again. You've got Ferry in there, Adaramola, Costas. We're playing Hughes in the back line. Edwards is just going to be benched for this one. You've got Reece James, of course. Dyer comes in for Armstrong. Could you stay at Divine or in? Ramazani making his debut. We've got Woodhouse in for Van Dijk or Kumos, whichever ones can play out there, but I'm going to start Woodhouse in this one. And then Iliman and Jaya up top, of course. We've got Hughes making his debut back. Ferry played in pre-season, so with Reece James, but technically their debuts will let it be. And then Ramazani making his actual debut. He didn't play in pre-season. So this is definitely going to be an interesting one. You saw City's team. It looks absolutely daft. I'm not expecting much here. I know, I said the same in the FA Cup and we ended up bloody beaten. Was it Liverpool we played? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Liverpool in the final. We ended up beating them. So, look, if we can do that, we can go ahead and win the Community Shield. Look at it, it's a very nice looking trophy. You've got the 3 lines on it as well, which is very nice. Oh, we've got a Ferry Tifo. The fans are loving him. I mean, he conceded quite a lot in pre-season. Conceded 3 against, I think it was Valencia, in a 3-0 hammering. But yeah, the fans seem to love him, I suppose. But yeah, we go. There's one thing I haven't done. I haven't done numbers. I've done development plans and that. I just haven't done numbers. Some of the numbers look alright, I suppose. I saw Reece James with the 5 there, which isn't too bad. Bloody hell, Haaland's 29 now in this. That's mental, you know. 29 now. And he's still at City. He hasn't been sold yet. He never usually does in these career modes. He never usually does. I'm intrigued to see what team they actually put out for this. That looks like that Andrea guy who was their right back. The sun's glaring, look at it. There's our team. It's looking good. I mean, that's not the formation that I play, but there's our team. It is looking good. You've got the depth on the bench as well, just if needs be, you know. A few changes from what the actual lineup's going to be in the Prem, like Woodhouse, Dyer and Hughes in there, but let's just give them a go out. Why not? Why not? Ramazani has the number 7, which is nice. It looks like numbers have kind of sorted themselves out. I'm not gonna lie, they got someone called Ramos in there. That was that centre-back. De Jong does start. I want to say what that midfield is. De Jong, yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous. And then you've got that João Neves out on the bloody bench. Christ. What can we do? What can we do against that? Suslov on the bench as well against his former team. Yawakyo up against Manchester City. Community Shield. It's my first time using the new team, actually playing a simulated pre-season. There's Reece James already off to a bit of a good start here. That's not a bad ball. Divine's out wide. Divine hammers it into the box. And Jaya with the header. It's obviously, I mean, if you've been playing FIFA recently, you know that heading the ball is just horrendous. So that's not going to work out. Maybe he's adding Low into the team will help. He is 6'4", so maybe that will help us. I'm hoping that Woodhouse's rating spikes up this season as well. I don't know how it didn't from last season. The guy got like nearly entered double digits in goals and assists, and he's still a 68 overall somehow. Adramola, quite a bit of pressure on him because, as you can tell from the previous clips, I've been hammering trying to get a new left back in, and I just can't. But if he performs well, it'll take me mind off getting a new left back in anyway. Divine, that's not bad. Could you stay? He has Keanu Dyer. Woodhouse, not going to win that. Rodri's going to be a big problem in that midfield. So is Haaland. Haaland against Charlie Hughes. I don't think I would ever have seen that, not going to lie. Adramola's putting up a good battle over there on the left-hand side. Here he goes. Nice ball up to Ramazani. This guy's been incredible for Leeds. He was playing against us. I believe he scored against us. Oh! Now then, we're going to play on. But the referee's got to pull that back and give him a yellow card at least. Here's Ramazani. It's not a bad run. It's not a bad run at all. What a shot. And it's Martinez in net who pulls off the save. Yes, he is getting booked here. That was a horrible challenge to make. I mean, you know what our injuries are like on this career mode. That is... You're just asking to injure me players there. That's not very nice, is it? Let's get Woodhouse in on a short corner here. Here he goes. Woodhouse, he's good with his feet, he is. Piles it across the box. Costas, that was a shot, by the way. I just didn't expect it to be him on the edge of the box there. You're just on the edge of the 6-yard box. Adaramola, good win again. He has Divine. Divine back Adaramola. Oh, that was fast, whatever he done there. Ramazani out to Divine. He can lift one into the box. I don't know why we're trying to play that into Woodhouse. And Dyer with the good touch there. We're keeping the ball well. We're keeping the ball well. City are piling the pressure on, though, trying to get that out of their box. Ramazani, it's an incredible run. Save again, Ramazani. Why has he went head first? I will never know. Why did he go head first there? What an opportunity for him. What a debut he's having. He's causing them all sorts of problems. City can't really keep the ball here. There's Woodhouse. He's got Reece James up with him. There is Reece James. He's going to be a massively important player for this season, especially with Europe on the horizon. We're going to have to play the games that get you into Europe first, like the qualification legs. Here's Woodhouse dinking it into the box. It's not terrible. Could you stay? You can win that. I believe you can. You can do better. Dyer's going to be onto that. Haaland wins it from him. He has Foden back into Haaland. Haaland's really dropping back. It's like he's fucking Harry Kane or something, yeah. He's dropping back constantly. Bit hard to understand what you get out of that. He's not the best playmaker in the world, is he? Although he's just created this. Haaland into Foden. I've just called him not the best playmaker. I want to save from Ferry. There's City's first attempt of the game. We can't keep it in. It's a strong hand. Would Alex Palmer have made that save? I don't know. Maybe he's not. Big header there, Adaramola. That's dodgy, though. Divine just needs to clear it. There we go. Yeah, the only thing with Woodhouse is with him being really small. Van Dijk's 5'6" as well, though. So, I mean, we've just got small wingers on the right-hand side, but not a terrible first half. I think we're done very well there. Had more attempts than City. Felt like I had more of the ball. Ramazani absolutely stood out in that half there. Seems like he's going to be a big threat down that left-hand side all season. The only weakness I would say is it was way too easy for them to go from the midfield up to the forwards, like really quick and easy. Maybe we need like more of a DM in there. I know Kajuste is a DM, but maybe we need a second one just to help that defence out a little bit better. So I could be looking into getting a DM maybe to put in there. That's brilliant from Costas. He done that a few times last season. He always likes to get up the pitch. Divine could have really found Njaye that. He has Ramzani though. He's going to play it into Njaye with the turn. He has Woodhouse. One of them's offside. It's going to be Njaye with the first pass there. He's just offside, which is unfortunate. We do have Lowe and Joseph on the bench. So if Njaye is not really playing to a certain standard, we've got two choices of a striker there. My favourite will always be Joseph, but Lowe has a lot to prove, definitely. He are on loan this season. He has Kajuste. I'm going to lay that into Adaramola, give a bit more time to think about what we're doing here. Adaramola's done very well. What a game he's putting on. What a show. Adaramola, he's got it into Ramazani, who's somehow kept the ball here. That's out to Keanu Dyer. I'm going to play that out to Reece James. Reece James is going to rocket one into Woodhouse. Massive opportunity there. Can Hughes win that? He's done very well, Hughes. Can I get that in Adaramola? Yes, we can. Here he is. He's playing very well at the minute. Divine over the top. Can I get that through? And the keeper's going to pick it up. We're doing well. We're doing well. One chance will come. All it takes is a City defend that slip, and we'll be straight on with it. Adaramola, brilliant stuff. He's all over the place. He's doing so well. Divine can find Reece James. Here he goes. Reece James. He's got the ball into Woodhouse. Woodhouse! Oh, what an opportunity. And what a miss it is. What a chance. City are making a sub. It's Suslov who's coming on. The former Wigan Athletic player. I wonder if he's going to be getting boos or cheers from the Wigan end. That is the biggest chance of the game right there. Woodhouse, you need to get that on target, son. The changes are going to happen then. We're going to bring in... And I know he's been good, but he's coming in. Van Dijk's coming in for Woodhouse. What more can I do? Armstrong is going to come in for Keanu Dyer. And we're also going to go with Kyle Joseph in for Iliman Njaye up top. That's a risky substitution right there, but we'll do it. Joseph, Armstrong, and then Van Dijk coming in. Van Dijk played in pre-season, so it isn't really his debut. A blonde off for a blonder. Not too shabby. Woodhouse, what a chance he had. That's not the reason he's been subbed off. Just stamina issues. We need a bit more pace. And I believe Van Dijk's got like 94 sprint speed. The guy is fast, okay, and that's what we're going to need later on in this game, yeah. City should have tired legs, although it's City. I feel like they never do. Haaland, oh no. Whew. Frankie de Jong, if he catches that well, that really could have ended up differently. Let's see if we can just play the ball up here. I really should stop playing out from the back. Ferry with a great ball up. Hold on. Van Dijk wins the header. Could be on to something here. Costas out wide to Reece James. That's up to Van Dijk. He has his first touches. Van Dijk. He's got the pace, or he should do. He feels really slow for some reason. Reece James, that's a wild ball into the box. And I think Divine, yeah, he's offside. It's a wild ball in that. You don't need that much height on that, James. And you don't need that much whip. Nuri's just come on to help out defensively there. For City, Reece James can win that. He has Van Dijk. That's not a bad ball, that. He has Armstrong. That's going to get back to Van Dijk. Reece James. Curls it in. Divine, it's bouncing. If the keeper dives there, I reckon that's going to bounce over the goalkeeper, but he's done well to know that was going to be the case. They've got a very good goalkeeping rotation there. Edison and Martinez. Kind of joke is that? I mean, surely they're both going to complain about game time, you would think, but there it is. There it is for the 90. Oh, we're going straight to pens in this. We do. We'll go straight to pens. And they have much better penalty takers than us. How is their left back got 79 penalties? How does that happen? Right, straight to pens. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. We don't have Palmer to save with this time like the FA Cup final. Ramzani. It's down the middle and a miss from the debutant. Haaland straight into the top. I've dived the right way there as well. Just too much whip on it. Reece James. It's a nice pen. I didn't aim there. I aimed bottom right, but it'll do. Here's the left back. Oh, I've dived way too early. Way too early there. Van Dijk now onto it. Van Dijk, he's put it down the middle again. And this is not looking good now. Suslov, it's a save from Ferry. Devine, you've got time. Devine, it's just in, mind you. We're still in it. It's just went in, that. Zaire-Emery, oh, I've dived the right way as well. Why is he not putting his left hand up there? Kyle Joseph hasn't long been on the pitch. Joseph buries it top right. If City score, it is over. It's Phil Foden. Foden buries it. Manchester City are the Community Shield champions. They've done it a fair few times in the history, City, but well done this time, I tell you. We had some shocking penalties there. Both times I went down the middle, both times the keeper just stood then and just handled the ball. I'm disappointed. No goals in the 90-odd minutes of football, and we'll lose on pens. That's the harsh reality of football, that, though. It really is. It really is the harsh reality of football. Manchester City, Community Shield champions. It's a disappointing one to take. But let's think of it as a more positive. Let's try and think of it as a more positive. The Community Shield's not a huge trophy. It would have been nice to have. It would have been a nice positive way to start the season. A positive we can take from this is we played well. In fact, I feel like I played better than City the whole game. Reece James, mate, don't beat yourself up. Especially don't beat that hamstring up, because we're going to need you this season. We're going to need you. But of course we'll watch them lift the trophy. It's going to be Rodri who lifts it. I do not like that font, by the way, for the names. I think that's bloody horrible. But yeah, we've got bigger things to focus on than this. We've got potentially qualifying for Europe and obviously going the distance in Europe and then seeing what we can do in the Prem. Mid-table is the objective, but obviously I want to try and make Europe actually through the league this time. But there you have it. City win the Community Shields. Pretty disappointing way to start off the season. I did say I feel like we just need another DM in this team. Whether he is coming off the bench, whether he is in the starting 11. And I've went ahead and done that. Samuel Ali, a youth academy player from Ipswich, joins us for 8.4 million. He's 76 overall to start with, which isn't too bad at the age of 22. He's signed a 5-year contract, 50k a week, which is quite a lot of money, but he was on 40k a week at Ipswich, so there wasn't really much bearing. But yeah, he's a DM, very physical, very good at defending. He's probably going to be on the bench for now, but I'd imagine he's going to be a long-term replacement for Kajuste. And when I say long-term, Kajuste is probably only going to be here another season or so, so he's going to come into the team quite quickly. Taken off Mumba and Anton Robinson from the shortlist. I just think I've went in for them twice now and failed, so I may as well take them out, which I have. The only one that we've got left here, we've got Jefte, who obviously has just went to Chelsea, so I can't get him this season, and then Luke Chambers, who I could potentially try and go in for again. We'll see. We'll see if we can go in for him again. Hopefully we can. As for objectives, it's been very difficult to follow them. A lot of them say, like, sign a crucial first-team player in midfield. It's difficult to do. I don't want to change the midfield that much. I especially don't want to pay an arm and a leg for a crucial midfielder to come in when I don't think we need it. I'm going to do what I think is best for the team realistically. We're growing the club's growth sort of there and then. This stuff will be completed throughout the season. Obviously reach the Europa League. There's no actual thing on this, so it doesn't say medium, crucial or whatever, or critical. And then the youth player stuff can just be done throughout the season, definitely. Get a streak of, obviously we can do all that throughout the season. So far I've not ticked off anything there. Bearing in mind we've simulated for like already about a month of trying to do transfers and stuff and get them over and done with. So we've not completed anything there, and I've left myself with 17 million. We've spent quite a bit. It's probably the most I've ever spent, actually. So let's have a look at what we have done. From merch, we've got 25 million. From season tickets, 7 million, and then transfers, 59 million in profit, which is quite nice. I've spent 83 million on transfers, so there's still a bit of profit to be made. Obviously, player wages, player bonuses, and all that stuff. Goes out the window as well. I'm actually kind of intrigued. Divine, Reece James, I knew Reece James would be up there, definitely. And then Iliman and Jaya selling. Divine, obviously, I think with him just being the captain, but I'm quite surprised about Njaya, I'm not going to lie. I know he was the top goal scorer by far last season, but I was expecting someone else to be there. I don't know who it would be. Reece James, yeah. I actually expected Reece James to be the top, with him being a former player, but it's quite interesting to see this, 11,000 season tickets. Can we only hold 11,000? Stadium capacity 25,000. I'm surprised not even half the stadium got season tickets. I don't know what the actual statistics will be like in real life, but that seems pretty off. Great start to the season fixture-wise. We had a 2-2 draw to Fiorentina, 0-0 draw to Seville, and then a 3-0 hammering by Union Berlin, and then obviously losing to City. So we haven't had a great start of the season. Let's hope the Premier League's a better start. We've got Villa, West Ham before the deadline. After our deadline, just games we should really be flying through now, like Everton, Palace, Ipswich. That's 9 points there. Aston Villa is going to be a tougher one, but I think West Ham has to be 3 points. So yeah, we're just taking the games off as we go by. It's a decently smooth start to the season, fixture-wise, in the Premier League at least. Obviously, I don't know when we're going to be doing the qualification games for Europe. I imagine it's got to be in September, because I think the Europa League starts in like October, November-ish. I'm not 100% sure though. And the first episode of season 6 there then. What do you think of the signings? Is there anything we could have done better? Is there anything we still need to do? We've got 17 million. Is there still players I can sell? Maybe it's Gelhart, maybe it's Kumas, maybe it's Kyle Joseph eventually sells. Is there still players we can move on, try and make a bit of money? Is there anything else I can do? Please give me some advice in the comment section down below. Give me some left-back suggestions, because I seem to not be able to get them. Or do we trust Ademola? He played very well against City, I suppose. If you can play well against that team, you can play well against anyone. But yeah, let us know if you've enjoyed this episode as well. I think it's been one of my most favourite ones to actually do. I only played one game, but just making the signings, bringing players like Reece James in, like Hughes in, I think it's just been very kind of upbeat and happy, apart from the results, obviously. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll speak to all of you in the next episodes. Take care, everybody. Goodbye.